wave.
First 15 seconds completely pre-programmed and autonomous. All the teams are using programmed code for the first 15 seconds. 461, Westside Boulder Invasion quickly delivering some game pieces to the top part of their reef. Although scoring is worth more points during this autonomous period. 234 successfully placing 2 of those game pieces, each worth 7 points. As we enter the teleoperated period, human players pick up the controllers and drive the robots their team built over the last 13 weeks. Points are as follows. 2 points for scoring in the trough. That's the bottom part of that reef area. And as you work your way up, it's worth more points for 5 points for coral scored at the top part of the reef. 2 game pieces this year. Those teal spheres are known as algae. Those start in the barrier reef, and teams had to remove that to open it up. Additional scoring opportunities for their alliance. The other game piece are those PVC tubes known as coral. Plenty of those available outside the field of play, and those come in through their human player coral station. Each alliance has 2 of those, and there's a human player behind that to deliver game pieces. 234 actually making use one of those now. That's Cyber Blue from Indianapolis, Indiana. They'll pick up those additional game pieces and hope to score them somewhere on their reef to score additional points for their alliance. There's also the processor. That's where teams can score algae. There's one of those for each alliance. They can score that and give it to their opponent teams that then score directly in the top part of the barge itself. Scores currently 106 to 72 in favor of the Blue Alliance. We can see lots of icons on that audience display. You see a number out of 4. That's their progress towards that ranking point threshold. Teams trying to fill up that reef with 5 pieces on each of those 4 levels to get an additional bonus. And we'll also see that meatball-looking icon. That's for algae scored in the barge or processor. There's an additional icon available if they agree to cooperation by placing game pieces in the processor. 44-7, Team Roboto, one of the few teams that kind of focused on algae this season. They can score directly into the barge, worth 4 points for their alliance. T292, Panther Tech, lining up for a game piece from their human player station, taking it over to the reef, scoring just about shy in the bottom part of their reef. Scores only 130 to 102 with 30 seconds remaining in the match. Here at that 20-second mark, we're going to hear a sonar ping. Let's take a listen for it. That means we've now entered the endgame period, and teams will start making their way over to those cages hung underneath the barge. The longer the chain, the more points they'll gain. The cages that are a lot closer to the ground are a lot harder to design around. Team 447, Team Roboto, and their teammate 234 appear to be off the ground. 461 joining that club. They do have to remain elevated after the match to get those additional points, and that's all we have for qualification match 1 here at the FIRST Indiana State Championship. Stick tight for those scores. Of course, our high score at the event being our first match, they did successfully achieve all 6 of those ranking points. About 8% of matches now are getting that threshold. That's 3 for winning the match, those 3 trophy icons. That 1 boat icon for the work in the end game period, climbing on that barge. Both teams received that. They got that robot icon for their work in autonomous, crossing that black line and scoring a game piece. And also the highly coveted reef ranking point for filling up.